Welcome to The Deal. I'm Suzanne Stevens reporting from The Deal's 2009 M&A Outlook. I'm here with Paul Beecy, who's a tax partner with Grant Thornton. Paul, you were just on a panel talking about inbound deals to the U.S. Are we seeing a lot of activity there?
Yeah, there is. It's I wouldn't say a lot, but there's a steady stream. They tend to be smaller deals, but it's steady. They're slower. I'd say probably one of the things that's fallen out really since we hit the autumn is a lot of dead deals, transactions that are going very far down the tracks, and then they're just falling apart for a number of reasons. Financing is part of it. Missing expectations is another part of it. So I'd say the default rate on transactions is pretty high, higher than I've seen it for a while.
Again, in the inbound.
In the inbound investments.
In the inbound.
Yes.
So you said smaller deals. Where are we seeing the investment coming from?
Investments I'm still seeing primarily from the UK and from Western Europe, Germany being probably the number two. But I'd say the UK is still the strongest inbound investment that we see coming in.
You know, we have seen some big deals. We've seen InBev, Anheuser-Busch. We've seen Roche making a play for Genentech. Will we see a few more kind of transformational deals here and there?
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if it was next spring. You hear people, and you know, I can't get into specifics because it's mostly anecdotal, but people are starting to ask questions. People are starting to make inquiries into certain industries, into certain companies. Nothing concrete. It's, you know, we're thinking, we're just getting an idea, that sort of thing. So is that a, 3-6 month time frame? I wouldn't be surprised.
In the absence of credit, are we seeing more creative deal structures?
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing a lot of preferred equity. We're seeing a lot of preferred investments through partnerships, preferred investments that tend to mimic debt. The idea being that when we can get through this credit crunch, when the markets can loosen up again, we can refinance these companies, we can get the leverage back in, we can take out those preferred investments that I'm seeing with a very short window, 3-5 years. There's none of this 10, 20-year type preferred investment. They want it in, it's a quick fix, they want to be able to get it out as well. This is not a long-term play. And I think everybody we've been talking to about these preferred type investments, not a long-term play. They want to get out of here, they want to see a clear route out, and it doesn't have to wait for an exit.
Paul, we've got a new Congress, a new president coming in January. You're in the tax business.
Yes.
That's certainly an issue of interest. What are your expectations for how an Obama administration might affect deal making, and what measures might we see in the first year or two that could affect it?
I think he's probably got a far more ambitious agenda from his campaign than I think he'll actually be able to execute on. Maybe no surprise there in some ways. I just think that there are a lot more competing interests, and I heard it mentioned earlier in one of the panels earlier and about now's not a good time to raise taxes, etc. I think that's true, but I think it's probably time for some targeted tax initiatives, and I can see a fair amount of that coming down the line. I think that President-elect Obama is also going to be dealing with even targeted tax. He's going to realize that wherever they're going to push on one side, there's going to be a counteraction somewhat. It's nice to say we want to give incentives to alternative energy, to renewable resources, etc. And the way we're going to pay for that is by increasing taxes on oil and gas. Oil and gas has a very large constituency, and it runs across party lines. And I think there are a lot of conservative Democrats, I think there are a lot of Republicans, and I think even liberal Democrats who are going to be looking in their own jurisdictions, their own areas of representation, and say, you can push on this side, it's going to cause a problem over here, we need to work all that out. So I think there's a lot more negotiation. I think a lot of the talk on the campaign trail, I should expect, it's rhetoric, it's lofty. Wouldn't it be great if we were all rich? Yes, it would be. That's not the reality. So now what can we do? We've got declining industry problems. I think that, and this is purely my guess, purely my speculation. I think that he'll get sensitive enough very quickly to the multinational implications of U.S. tax policy, and so I don't think we'll see any slowing up of investment, inbound investment to the U.S. as a result of tax policies here. I think that he's going to know he can't operate in a vacuum. He can't make these unilateral decisions that are going to impact investments from the UK, from Germany, from Canada, and not expect some repercussion. And that's going to have to be. I think you'll see that. I think you'll see the ambitious tax areas or the ambitious tax reforms dampened before you'll see any kind of negative effect to the economy.
Paul Beecy with Grant Thornton, thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.